Following the trend of my Furina video.
But if I'm simping for a character, what is the one thing that I should do for them? Film their story quest!
And what I said about Emilie in the previous video.
I fell in love with your design in 4.8. I just didn't pull you because I didn't have a reason to.
We gotta do Emilie's story quest before pulling her.
Disclaimer, I can't remember exactly when, but I had to do a bit of this quest before because one of the characters was involved in an event, and I couldn't do that event without doing part of this quest, so the first little bit is missing, but I'll try my best. But to be honest, as much as I love Emilie, her story quest was quite confusing, and even right now, I'm struggling to understand it. But anyways, carrying on from where I left off the quest a few months back.
She's been kneeling down here this whole time. And yes, in case anybody is wondering, I'm doing it during her banner right now.
So we had to see what I now know to be Emilie's master, unconscious on the floor.
Yeah, I cannot remember what was going on. I have to watch a couple of clips before this.
Where we had to investigate the surrounding.
Okay, what is up with this NPC thing? Like everybody is always shaking around like this, what?
So we first moved Emilie's master into the bed inside the house, hostel, accommodation, I have no idea. Emilie then does some treatments and investigates a little bit for the time being. She then briefly interviews the two men about, okay, I played in Chinese, so I don't know how this is pronounced, but I'm gonna pronounce it as Auguste, as she suspects something from them. To which they obviously decline, and then we just continue this small interrogation between the five of us, and then...
Don't even think about it. Yes, I will stab you if you dare.
After that, we learn briefly about Kyria from one of them, and then Emilie briefly talks about how she came to Sumeru and how she came to know her master. However, for now, she wants to hear more about the research for Auguste, and we learn a bit more about who this Kyria is. Apparently, he's Vijava's brother, but who's Vijara, I don't know. As I said, I'm struggling to understand this story quest.
Suggested. There goes my pulling rituals for Emilie.
Yeah, essentially I had a ritual where I wanted to spray myself in deodorant or just drink some deodorant, but according to this Genshin quest, that's probably not a good idea. So instead, well, you'll see what I did for the pulling ritual. Anyways, this interview continues on for quite a fair bit longer, but again, I'm not 100% sure on what's going on here.
I swear to God, if there is any sort of traveler ex-Emilie here, I am going to stab the traveler.
But the two men are still sus, and we need to get to the bottom of this. We then learn Emilie is a forensic cleaner, but I'm pretty sure that all of us in real life knew that already, and then we report this to Tainari.
I remember Tainari also kind of likes her as well. No, I need to speak to Emilie. No. You need to utilize the voice line. You don't want to let it go to waste.
We then look for Tainari and explain the situation, and Tainari even tells us that Emilie is fully capable of healing her master back up because of the knowledge she possesses. After that, we wait a day before visiting Emilie again. And for God's sake, Hoverjovers, you couldn't give her proper pants or just complete the dress or something? Why is there a whole hole there?
Do we need to get a close-up on that? Why are we so close to a thing?
Anyways, Emilie tells us that her master's condition is improving and that she has done her own investigation into Augustine and found traces of elemental energy inside. Wow, she is smart. Oh my gosh, I failed my chemistry in high school and now I'm killing myself in thermodynamics. Collie then drops by and we have a chat together. After that, we hear some screaming in the hotel, so we go in to investigate.
Stand back!
There we find out that Lucien has unfortunately passed away, and obviously, loss of a loved one is always tough. So we let Sylvian rest and take some time for himself.
The problem with working in law enforcement and all these paramedics and rescue teams is you will see a lot of blood and death and all sorts of very gruesome stuff.
So now we bring the sheriff here to investigate. According to Tainari, we can trust Emilie's opinion and we attain a time of death.
I've been watching too much Crime Watch, that stupid Singaporean TV show.
For those of you who don't know, Crime Watch is this really low budget, poor but not so poor acting, government funded Singaporean educational, not really TV show. It apparently dates back to the 80s, but I don't know where to find those episodes. But on YouTube, you can reliably find a bunch of episodes from at least 2010 to present day. Yes, it's still being made. This show, no surprises, is about crimes and stuff. And I don't know what it is about this show, but there's just something about this show that makes me want to watch and binge watch a bunch of these episodes. Maybe it's the horrendous acting and script of the older episodes. The woman was too stunned to speak. But credit where credit is due, they've really stepped up their game in recent years, and there were some really good and surprisingly emotional episodes, and they often get real police officers to act in the show. And one of them that I really wish they'd bring back is Roy Lim. He looks like a really friendly guy and has the police officer aura around him. And in case anybody is wondering, nope, I don't live in Singapore. I live in Singapore's neighbor, where we still have our twin towers standing up proudly nice and tall. Please don't knock them down. And another show that's quite fun to watch is Forensic Files, which is all about murders if that's what you're into. But anyways, that was not a sponsorship by any of these programs. Back to the original video. Anyways, we investigate the area around for a bit before we meet back together, and Paimon draws out a map of the place.
你画什么派吗？
Some of us suspect that Sylvian is sus, but it's most likely not him, but we are still unsure of things, so it's time to interview Sylvian. Sylvian tells us that they locked up tight last night, yet somehow his brother was still found dead the next day. Emilie tells us that she believes Lucien inhaled something and that was what led to his death, and as she suspects, it's Auguste. But Sylvian doesn't believe that's the cause of death. Just then, Master Edgar wakes up.
Oh, yay, Master is alive. Oh, she ran to him.
He then explains it might not be harmless for everyone, and then he talks about a short backstory, but again, I'm not 100% sure about what's going on. All I know is that Auguste has traces of the Abyss, and that's why Emilie detected elemental energy earlier. And turns out Auguste's safety wasn't really known, and that they were just selling it because people liked it.
就是另一码事了。
Yes, I just wanted to put angry Emilie on the screen, and maybe this could be a good thumbnail. Sylvian then confesses some of his plans, I think. Again, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, I will admit I'm struggling to follow the story a little bit.
After a bunch of explaining of stuff that I don't quite get, I think Sylvian is going to be put on trial in Fontaine, and I think Edgar needs to leave. But we're still concerned that this Kyria could attack again that same night. So we come up with a plan to try and bait him, with Sylvian joining in on us, and it was around here that my patience and understanding for what they were talking about dried up. After that, we let Edgar rest because he's not fully healed yet before heading out. And turns out, the rumors of this case are spreading like wildfire. Later, Emilie and Colette sit down together to have a chat. After a bit of time, Colette eases up because she's nervous. And Emilie even offers to ease up her stress. But unfortunately, we just had to arrive. Colette then lets us know her opinions on this whole matter, about how it's strange that only Lucien died but Sylvian didn't, even though they were right next to each other, and how this could be a really messed up form of revenge. Obviously, Colette feels bad about this, but Emilie reassures her that it's okay to feel this way, and even shares with us a few stories about her experiences as a forensic cleaner. And now, I'd like to pay my respects to the real-life police team. I'm going to bring back Roy Lim from earlier. The video I showed earlier shows us what being in law enforcement is all about.
There's no beautiful murder scenes. The more gruesome the case is, the more it resides in your memory.
Not many people can see blood without passing out, let alone finding a full-blown dead body. Even I myself passed out at 8 years old while seeing my father donate blood. But don't worry, I'm doing a lot better. Now I watch real surgery videos because they're fun, but that's beside the point. And imagine this.
They say where all the rubbish that came from Singapore River, they say, oh, just left on the way to the incinerator. So that's when we called the incinerator to stop all incineration. And we went back by back. Yeah, terrible. That was the first time I was happy smelling the smell of this decomposition.
That is hell. In fact, just looking through the rubbish of one building is bad enough, let alone...
Kelly, get in touch with NEA, ask them to collect all the rubbish within the 2 km radius, have it brought to a collection center for us to sieve through later.
Just to find body parts and a murder weapon. And like what Roy said at the end of the video, it really touches my heart.
If you ask whether I was taken aback, yes. I'm human also. It is my job to solve every case, ensuring that there is a closure being brought to the family. If things happen, you will want to have a closure as law enforcers. That is our job. Seek the truth, give closure. It's my way of giving back to society.
And I think it's great that Emilie's law briefly mentions this in various places as well. So, dear Roy Lim, or any other law enforcement personnel that's somehow watching this video, thank you for your service. I respect your position. Keep up the hard work. We all appreciate it. Once our chat is over, all of us meet back up to finalize our plans.
No. Okay, I'm using Lumin, so it's fine. If I see Ether inside here in a room alone with Emilie, I am going...
Actually, no. Turns out it's Tainari that I need to look out for. But I still hate you, Ether. And you better watch out Tainari. No, I'm just joking. I mean, as time goes on, I slowly start to accept the shit, but oh well. But anyways, we wait around for a bit, but nothing happens. After a bit of time, we realize something. The flowers only bloom at night, and hence Auguste could be hidden in the flowers, and when they bloom, it'll release into the air, killing everyone in the room. Realizing this, Emilie does something, but the scene just cuts to the next day. Rumors once again are spreading, so the sheriff chases everyone away. Meanwhile, Emilie and Edgar are having a conversation about how fortunate he is. He even asks Emilie to take care of his flowers. After After that, we come back to Lumin's perspective where somehow
Why am I at 2000 HP?
we have a chat with Collet, and it was at this point that my phone, which I was using to record the face cam, ran out of battery. So yeah, no more face cam for the rest of this video. Sorry about that. We investigate the area and pay close attention to the flowers in particular, because as I said earlier, the flowers only bloom at night, so Augusty could be hidden in the flowers. Or maybe I'm completely wrong in this regard. Again, this whole story quest, I'm quite confused by it.
My phone ran out of battery, so therefore there is no face cam for I don't know how long. I am so smart and so good at YouTubing.
We discuss our findings with each other, and then suddenly we receive news that Edgar was attacked. And from our previous discussions, Kyria's true identity has been discovered somehow. I don't know how. Okay, I'll admit, I really tried to pay attention. Maybe it's a language thing because my Chinese isn't very good, or maybe I'm missing a lot of lore pieces. I just really don't know what's going on anymore. Anyways, we head back to interview some of the people nearby to find out what they really saw before we smell our way to track down Kyria. Don't worry, Emilie, I won't judge you. I love smells as well before we arrive in front of the domain.
I'm gonna bring Hu Tao just in case.
你很有眼光嘛。
你还有眼光吗? There we go. Now we get to play Emilie.
We find one of the guards not feeling very well because of the Augusty. He lets us know what he saw. The sheriff also explains that Kyria and Edgar are the same people. Master Edgar is the killer. It's believed Kyria used a delusion because apparently, if you possess a vision or whatnot, you'll be immune to the effects of Augusty.
What time is it now, by the way? Wow, it's almost 2 o'clock and I haven't eaten lunch yet.
I really need to keep track of time better. So everyone leaves because of the effects of Augusty, and only Emilie and us travel onwards. And now I'm probably going to skip a lot of stuff here because there's just genuinely nothing to say.
So elegant, so pretty. Ooh, glowing stuff. We have to collect everything that glows. I'm going to make a very nice mushroom soup with you all. Emilie 小姐, 来.
I won't lie, this segment took me a solid 5 minutes to figure out. Soon we finally arrive to where Kyria is, and he's dying because of the effects of the delusion. We then get a cutscene about Kyria and his older sister, how his older sister died one night, and it's a pretty touching moment.
I'm sorry for your loss, man.
After that, he wakes up to see all of us in front of him. Turns out the whole ordeal just now was just an illusion, and it felt a bit too real. Not an easy feeling. Then it's time for Emilie's cutscene that just highlights the journey of her filmmaking from when she was a child, and some pretty interesting scenes here and there.
剩下的问题就是真正的奥古斯都被藏在哪儿了，我记下了。
Once the cutscene is over, we head back to the situation we're in. Emilie explains to Kyria that she apparently replaced the bottle and had something to lure him to do something else. I'm not sure. And this whole scene here, I'm not exactly able to follow what they're discussing, but eventually Kyria is arrested and it's time to leave the domain. We quickly meet up with Emilie in Fontaine. Turns out she's releasing a new perfume based on this incident called Yelana. Yelana! And she even gives us a free bottle of perfume, yay! And with that, her quest is now finished.
Let's see here. I still have Chloride and Shiori as well as Faruzan. These are some of my favorite characters. That's why I haven't done their story quests yet. So I'm thinking about whether I want to record these just for memories, just for fun. I really don't know yet. Okay, anyways.
As I said, I don't know what to think of this story quest. It's been really confusing since the start, but at the same time, I'm also a really dumb person, so yeah. And to be fair, the cutscenes at the end were really, really nice. I just wish that these character story quests were actually about the characters, their past, their lore, and all of that stuff. Most of these character story quests are just about random stuff. I want to see like their past, their lore. A good example would be Wine's one. Now that was a really nice cutscene. Also, I was reading a bit about Emilie's lore and stuff because yes, I like her that much. And I found some really cool, emotional, and pretty relatable things that I myself do sometimes, like how she comforted someone and gained her vision as a result, or why she chose forensic cleaning and how her mother was actually a pathologist who also enjoyed perfume. But well, that's it for this video. Next video will be the Emilie summons with a bit of fun.